What up guys? Got another video for you. This one's kind of different, and this is kind of a precursor to a lot of the stuff that's going to be coming. Not all of the content, but a lot of the new content. Today I've got a gun here from a buddy of mine who asked if I wanted to do a quick video on it. I said yeah, sure, why not? You know, free new equipment to get well, it's not brand new, but you know, free stuff to get different content up here for you guys. And so some of you guys might recognize the case, or you might be able to read the lettering. This is MacDev. So if we open it up here, we have a MacDev Drone DX. This just got back from MacDev themselves, from being serviced. And so real quick here, we got the box. Take out the barrel, and this is obviously, it's from MacDev, so this is obviously some variation of the matchstick kit. Matchstick is always a solid barrel, so you know, solid two-piece barrel. It doesn't appear to have a bore size listed anywhere. I would imagine it would be in the 689, 688 region though. Comes with its own little thing of MacDev lube. Seems pretty nice. Feels a lot like hater sauce. So that's hater sauce is a great lube. So got a little MacDev Allen key set there. And go in here, we got this drone manual, and I've been through it a couple times now. It's a really nice, detailed, full color manual. Got nice explosion diagrams, bolt diagrams, all that kind of stuff for just about everything. Good manual, and two small sets of spares. Not really enough for a full rebuild, but I mean, you really shouldn't be needing a full rebuild at any one time on this gun. And so here we get the drone. So we'll go ahead and take this out, put this thing aside. Alright, we get a red and black Drone DX, and these grips are obviously from SPD. And so we get this MacDev regulator on here, or ASA, excuse me, which is it's a nice style. I don't mind it. It's definitely not my favorite style. I think at some points it gets really hard to turn this when it's gassed up. Other than that, it still works fine. You know, it's solid. Obviously a variation of the Gladiator reg, and it's got a kind of an oddly low serial number 62. And you know, first impressions, I've never owned a MacDev gun personally. This is probably the one brand of gun that I've never owned. I've shot them, I've never owned them. So I've never shot a drone, however, though. So first thoughts right out of the box, holding this and looking at it, it feels, you know, it feels solid. It feels pretty comfy. The first thought that popped into my head was, you know, wow, this feels like a Quest. Which there's a lot of features on here that are very Quest-like. So that's, you know, that was just my first thoughts on the gun. The trigger is the spring is really nice. It's crisp, it's snappy. The trigger itself is extremely light. So there's really no weight to it. It's micro switch, not optical, and it feels really nice. I like this trigger. I definitely do. The board that's in here is a Virtue OLED. Let me go ahead and turn it on. You can see it right there, Virtue. And turn the eyes off. And no, I'm obviously not gonna fuck around with this board or something like that, but it's a Virtue OLED, so obviously it's a decent board. You know, that's just my initial impressions on the gun, and so I went in, and we'll take a look at the bolt system real quick. And actually, because I am so new and outcast to pretty much only Mac, this is really the only gun I honestly don't know most things off the top of my head, is the MacDev guns. So I'm actually going to probably refer to the manual for the literal names of the pieces. Obviously I know what they do and I know how it functions. but they call some of their pieces a couple different things. So just go open up to the bolt thing. So alright, so obviously this is just a simple 4-piece bolt system. I've seen this many times. This back piece they call the valve cap, which is kind of reminiscent of the new the way the bolt system works in the new die guns, and even more closely resembles the Geos and the Ethas. It's basically it's a spool dump chamber design. So this really has nothing else in it. There's no O-rings in it at all. It's just basically a cap to fill the gap and provide seal. So you got that. And then if you can just go ahead and pop the bolt out the back, and this front piece they call the keg, which is basically, if you look at the name of any other gun on the planet, this is a can. So the can does have one moving O-ring on the inside, and that's right in there, and it's very, it looks pretty much just the same as any other spool valve gun today. It still reminds me of a Quest in some ways, but the can itself, it literally, I mean, if you take off this threaded back piece right there, I mean, doesn't that look almost identical to a shocker can? So, the only difference being is that there's no back O-ring in here, that the bolt system takes care of that. So we'll put that keg aside, and basically right here we've got the bolt, and this little piece in the back, the valve. The valve just goes straight into the bolt, and it's just kind of quite simple how that works. I mean, it's just kind of common sense. Goes back and forth, does all kinds of stuff like that. So, and then this is the bolt. Got a little bit of extra grease on there and stuff like that, but it's not a big deal. But this is the bolt. If you guys have ever ripped apart a Geo or something like that, it's very similar system. You can't get too crazy inside a spool valve. It's all going to look the same at some point. But this is spool valve dump chamber system. This bolt definitely reminds me of like a G3 bolt or something like that. It looks pretty much the same. Bolt's a bolt and a spool valve, doesn't get too much different. I mean, not that poppet bolts are amazingly different either, but that's it. Very simple, easy to maintain, and easy to get out, and accessible bolt system, which I'm definitely a fan of this simplicity that MacDev has with their bolt system. And it's all, just screws back together real quick, and goes right into the back of the gun. And then you've just got this little back cap, and that's it. And it just, back cap just goes in and screws on, and that's about it. It's a nice, simple, easy. All you gotta do is lightly, grease those O-rings in there. And for a gun like this, my personal recommended grease would be if you could get the Planet Eclipse grease that the Geo or the Etha comes with. That would be great. Hater Marmalade would probably be my #1 choice. Not Hater Sauce, Hater Marmalade. Just because of the viscosity of it. If you can't get that, Slick Honey, if you're going old school like that, Slick Honey is a good option, or like O-Ring Monkey, like the Monkey Poo, or the Tech T stuff, definitely is the stuff I would use on this gun. So I'm not gonna I'm not gonna really take anything more apart. I am real quick just gonna take off an eye cover just to have a peek, because I don't really deal with MacDev guns too often. We're contemplating actually on carrying MacDev guns at our park this year, but for the price point, we have a lot of other guns because we carry all Planet and die guns at this point. So it's really up in the air. It's really up to me as one of the sales guys. If I bring in a MacDev clone or a drone, can I sell it? Can I be confident in selling this gun if I say yes, bring this gun? So I'm definitely thinking about it. So if we take off this eye cover here, it's a little dirty, just got a little paint, but got a detent in there. That is an Intimidator detent if I've ever seen one. So there is that. That's got a very tiny spot to sit in, and it looks like wired eyes, like the old wired, the old wired eyes that Virtue makes. That's what they pretty much look like. I'm sure they're, if you guys know, eyes are all eyes. It's not that big of a deal. So I'm gonna try and squeeze this detent back in. It might be easier just to place it down in there first. And those feel like really nice detents. They feel like, if you guys have ever been Intimidator owners in the past, the stock detents were really prone to getting messed up really easy, and you would want to get the hard detents. And back in the day, PB Kingdom hard detents, which were the blue ones for Intimidators, were the detent to have, and those things were the shit. I've actually, I think all except for one of my Timmies right now has PB Kingdom detents. So, in effect, real quick, that's my little quick video on the Drone DX. Unfortunately, I'm sorry I couldn't shoot it for you guys. Actually, the guy who owns this will be at the park tomorrow, and he will be playing, and he will be using a GoPro, using this gun. So I might be able to siphon the video off him after, and I could throw that up on my channel. Get some playing video up on the channel, get some new stuff, and you guys will get to see this gun in action. He's a pretty good player, so I think it would be some good content to get up there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm gonna get out of here so I can get you guys some new stuff, and I can get ready for my day at the park tomorrow. See you then.